While the gun industry always condemns mass shootings, firearm sales tend to spike after the headlines, as do shares of gun makers. Karina Huber has this.
The shooting at the Sandy Hook Elementary School on December 14, 2012, left 26 people dead, including 20 children. It was the deadliest shooting ever at a U.S. elementary school. The country and the world were in mourning. Many were also gripped with fear. For some, that fear prompted them to buy firearms of their own.
Yes, we had a tremendous upspike at that time. It was the biggest upspike I had ever seen.
Chris Ruger is the owner of Ruger's Customs Guns in upstate New York.
People have a tendency to buy stuff after the fact, prepare for the next time. What do I need to do in order to make myself ready for the next event? Be it a possible shooting.
After Sandy Hook, firearm background checks, an indication of intent to buy, hit a record of more than 950,000 in 1 week. But Ruger and others say the spike is less about the fear of another shooting and more about the fear of gun control.
There was no national increase in firearm sales for 5 days. And then you had politicians come out and say, we're going to ban these type of weapons going forward. And you started a 18-month dramatic increase in military-style rifle sales.
It's a pattern that repeats itself after every shooting, and it's a boon to gun makers. Days after the terrorist attack in San Bernardino, U.S. President Barack Obama called for more gun control. A day later, in anticipation of increased sales, the shares of two gun makers, Sturm Ruger and Smith & Wesson, jumped. Smith & Wesson shares are up more than 15% since San Bernardino.
If the federal government decided that or talked about banning toaster ovens, even if you didn't want a toaster oven, you may go out and buy that toaster oven because you're afraid you won't be able to get that toaster oven in the future. So the same thing is happening with firearms at this point.
It's a tricky conundrum for gun control advocates. Shootings provide them with an opportunity to be more vocal about limiting access to guns. But the more they talk about it, the more people run to buy them. Karina Huber, CCTV, New York.